Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's tutorial. This week we're going to be working with a collection from Echo Park called Basketball, and I'm going to add on this Stampin' Up! Red called Real Red, and then also the Raven black cardstock. This 12x12 collection kit has 12 papers, but there's 2 of each design. So there's 6 different double-sided papers, but then there's 2 of each of those designs. And it also comes with a 12x12 sticker sheet. And then as a coordinating accessory, I got like the die cut pack. So here what I did, just to have a look at all the papers, I just flipped every second one. That way we can see the back side of every double paper. So I went ahead and pulled out the journaling cards that I want to use. I don't want to use these other 2. They're a little bit bigger. Actually, I think I end up using the 4x6 ones, but I wasn't intending to. So here it's really easy doing a double layout tutorial because we have 2 of every paper, so it's easy to have a matching background. So I went ahead and picked this black based pattern paper to go on my red cardstock, and then I went with the basketball images on like that wood grain for my other set of backgrounds. And here I just went with a red based background that's just a very plain pattern paper, which is more of like almost solid red. And then I went with, I love the wording on that black paper with the red and white words on it. And it was really hard to choose the third paper for my accent papers, as I need 3 accent papers for this cutting guide. I knew that I wanted to incorporate some of that brown wood grain, and ended up choosing the one that has the basketball uniforms on it. And I went ahead and did it that way because the paper, it didn't really matter that it was directional, so I was fine with that. If it was directional, I probably would have chosen these basketballs instead. So I kind of ran into like a technical glitch when I was recording cutting my cardstock and my pattern paper, but I also noticed that it's sort of a part of my videos that people kind of skip over. So I'm gonna, I decided instead of like trying to refilm it and go back, that I would just put on this paper planner page from the cutting guides to show you which papers that I used when I was cutting out this basketball collection. It really is the same thing, you're just not seeing me cut it on screen. If you guys don't mind this sort of format, I might keep doing this because it saved me so much time editing my video to not have myself cutting the paper on the screen. So I might do a few like this just to see how it goes, and you guys can let me know what you prefer. But we're going to go ahead here and go straight into assembling our pages. So here what I did is I actually swapped the 1-inch borders. So the layouts 1 and 2 are actually supposed to have like the black based borders, and then layouts 3 and 4 are supposed to have the red cardstock 1-inch borders, but I switched them out because I wanted that black based background paper that I had picked to stand out on the red rather than on the black. So I just switched out the 1-inch border pieces. I didn't swap out any other cardstock. So that's what's really nice about those 1-inch border pieces, that you have the freedom after you cut everything to kind of look and see where you want to put them because they're kind of interchangeable. So one thing with the Echo Park, what they did with the football collection and the basketball collection, which I got both sets, they don't have like as many coordinating accessories as they do with some of their other collections. So these pages are definitely going to be a lot more simple, a little bit more plain. They're not going to have a lot of different elements to them. The best that I can do really is do some foam tape and do some layering, and also some different heights to give the illusion of depth on the page. There's not really any like coordinating enamel dots or chipboard or anything like that. So here I'm trying to use as big elements as possible just to kind of fill up our pages. I do like to use strongly patterned papers, which a lot of people don't like, but I find that you don't really have to do as many accessories and stuff like that if you don't want to, because the page just kind of, it looks busy enough on its own. I really liked some of the sayings and stuff that were on the journaling cards, so I went ahead and tried to integrate them, and they kind of filled up the area really nicely, so kind of went with that. There is definitely a lot of elements with this collection that have wording on it. So it's, I find like if I could change anything about this collection, it would be just to have more generic things, like more basketballs, maybe a little bit more elements that didn't have wording on them. So I love this this saying that said basketball star, but I didn't like that it said star. I would hope that my kids don't think that they're the star of the team or something. And you know, basketball is definitely a team sport where you can't rely on just one person. So I wanted to cover up that word star and just say basketball, and I thought that made a nice titling there underneath that 4x6 photo area. And then all-star athlete, I just like that imaging. And then it's not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game. I think that's awesome as well. Love that saying too. So, and here I was just trying to do a little bit more with layers and stuff like that, but I ran into trouble because like I couldn't really layer with anything with a red base. So I tried here, I even tried cutting this, but then the black ended up not really working out with that all-star athlete like symboling, because it would have been like black with black. So then I was just having a little bit of trouble here. Then I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just reprint one of my photos and make it like a really small photo, and I could fill that area with a photo, which I might still do because I feel like there's kind of a big blank area, but I'll probably come back to it a month or so from now and that page won't bother me anymore. So sometimes that's like worth doing too, is if you're really like looking at a page and you're like, oh, something's wrong with it, just let it go, just put it away, and you know what, you'll come back one day and you'll think it's fine. And if you don't, then you don't love it. I mean, some pages are just going to be like that. Okay, so for our final layout here, again, it's just going to be kind of generic basketball pages. If I do any kind of journaling at all, it'll be just a really small area, maybe to put the score in or something like that. Most of the time I just kind of take my pictures of my kids on the court, and some of them will be nice candid shots, you know, with the blurry background, and other ones are just going to be like half running or in the middle of something. So I don't know, I don't think the pages need as much storytelling through words. It's more just a memory from their school days. So I always love to embellish underneath this 4x6 photo area. I feel like that's really the highlight of area on this layout of where I want a scrapbook. And so I kind of just clustered a bunch of stuff underneath that 4x6 photo area to work on that side, and use some bigger elements on the right side of this layout underneath that 3x4 journaling area that says keep your head in the game. You can definitely add another photo area to any of these spots if you feel like you have more photos to work with. And what I love about this layout too is that you could definitely add in like more photo areas if you needed them. You could turn those 4x6 photo areas into 2 3x4 areas, and you can definitely fill in more photos around as well. That is all for this week. Sorry I missed last week. I kind of forgot that my kids were on spring break, and I try and not work on videos or scrapbooking at all in general when my kids are home. I find I just end up getting frustrated, and they're loud and just need more attention and stuff, and we're usually a little bit busier and have more things going on. So I hope everyone is doing okay. If you guys are ever super sad or lonely, or just need like a mental, just like someone to talk to because of this whole COVID thing and the world being crazy right now, just shoot me an email and we'll start talking and have conversations. And if there's any projects you're working on, I can help you out, or you can show me some pictures from some projects that you guys have done. So I will talk to you guys in a couple of weeks, and I hope everyone has a great weekend.